welcome to my channel and happy new year. My name is Captain Crush, and what I do here is discuss NBA, NFL, WNBA, PJ, MLB, all the fantasy sports for PrizePicks, Sleeper, Chalkboard, even some DraftKings, which I want to start doing more of in the new year. Absolutely, DraftKings Fantasy, why not? I play it every day. You guys need to get on board with it. I know you can't see my pretty mug, my face, my webcam right now is being complete and utter poverty, and until I can fix the technical sides, I'm done messing with it. I just decided to take it off because it's flickering like a strobe light, and I'm not trying to give anybody epilepsy or whatever that medical condition is that happens when you see strobing lights. I'm not trying to do that to you, okay? The point is, the fact of the matter is this. We got 6 main games. We had an early game early, which I did a little bit for in the Discord, but I'm not high on it. I don't think it's a good game. I didn't want to mess with it. And then we have a couple good games coming at night. One night game with the Heat versus the Clippers that's not on the main slate, but we're going to discuss this right now. And to start it off, I'm going to talk about Donnie. Yo, Donnie. Hey, it's me, Donnie Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell. 41.5 PRA? Question mark? Question mark? No, we're not going to his PRA. Are we going to his points? Question mark? Question mark? Well, listen, 29.5 points is way less than what he's been in the past couple of days, weeks, whatever you want to say. Listen, no Mobley, no Garland. It's been at 30. It's been at 31. Now it's at 29.5. The matchup is tough, a slower pace, defensive. I get all that. So these are your options for old Donnie Mitchell. You could literally make the case to do anything you wanted to do. That's the beauty of this. But what I want to say is his fantasy point per minute is 1.33, and he does have a 31% usage rate. Remember, that is a running average. So that means when things like Garland and Mobley sit out, it's going to go up. So Donovan Mitchell, you can take his points. My own projection model has him going for a little over 30, not by much. Or you can take his fantasy score at 48. It's in play, but you got to be wary of those turnovers. And here's the thing with old Donnie Mitchell. You love to say the name Donnie for multiple reasons. Read between the lines, yo, Donnie Brasco. But what I'm telling you is the man doesn't really stuff the stat sheet other than points usually. Now I say that and he's going to not have any points tonight and he's going to go grab 10 rebounds and 20 assists. But my real point is if he does get this fantasy score, it's likely that he's going to get around 25 to 35 points, okay? Because his points are directly tied to his fantasy score. He's not going to be that guy getting a bunch of block and steals. He can, but he's just not that guy. He will get assists, which is why my favorite one for him is probably just going to be the P+A at 36.5. He got 43 against the Bucks. We know that the Bucks have a problem against guards, so we know that's why he went off there. And then we have the Houston slow pace matchup, and he was still willing to get it done. He plays 36 to 38 minutes, and when he is on the floor, he's on the floor with low usage players, so that is also going to be good for us today. Donovan Mitchell, yo Donnie, you just made the list. He's the thumbnail, okay? I like him a lot. I'm willing to go down with the ship, and let me tell you, I've been going down with the ship more often than not in the past week. Went on vacation, came back, and when it rains, it pours. Let me tell you, I had issues with the people that boarded up my pups. They didn't take good care of them. Had to go off on them, and it's just been raining and pouring. Used my free entry for NFL yesterday and literally it was a 5-man slip to win $5K, and I hit 1 of 5, folks. Yes, sir. Almost a full donut. I kind of was wishing the guy sold at the end. It was Rashid Rice, but he soared over. I was kind of wishing he sold because then it would just be poetry. Poetry in motion is cooking a free entry that I took 10 to 12 hours on. I was so confident. I used it and it literally just blew up in my face. It was the anti-nuke. It didn't detonate except in my own face. And it cost me a pretty penny because I had my own coin on it too. I was all over these guys. Christian McCaffrey, Kyron Williams, Rashad White, Rashid Rice, and Tyreek Hill. And I agonized over this slip for hours. You can ask the people in my Discord, but it ended up costing me a crispy $1,000 plus the free entry. It was brutal, but today is a new day, folks. It's a new year. We're leaving 2023 in the past, and 2024 is going to be great. I wish all of you wealth, health, and blessings. blessings, and that is a fact. We're moving on. You put it in your rear view and let's crush. But so, we talked about the thumbnail, Donnie Mitchell. Now we have to talk about one other man that I'm not high on. I'm not high on this man at all. Pause. Nope, we're good. Resume. 45 fantasy points for Scottie Barnes. You say, Cap, I want to run back for old Donnie Mitchell. I don't want to play him by himself in the same slip. Well, literally can take Scottie Barnes. He was just at 51.5 fantasy score the other day. Now, why was he at 51.5 the other day? Well, because remember, Precious and OG, bye-bye, gone. So there was more usage to go around. They inflated his line versus versus the Pistons, and he didn't cover. But he still almost got there in a bad game at 43.5. 59, 59, 58. Talked about this. I said it was too high. Some of them, even myself, we did end up taking over just because we had Cade and wanted to run back, and it landed on Scottie. But I told you all, it was way too high. It was way too high, and it was. But now it's 6 points lower, and I get it. They got new players on their team. We don't know what the rotations are going to be, but Scottie's role is secure. His fantasy score is 100% in play. 1.37 fantasy points per minute with a crispy 24% usage rate. Remember, a lot of his equity is tied to blocks and steals because he does get a lot of them, but he can get assists, he does get rebounds, he does score, so he's in the mix. Hopefully he doesn't get a lot of turnovers. Look at that. He had 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, but he does have some turnover equity, unfortunately. Blocks and steals, look at this. 3, 4, 5, 1, 5. This is where the man gets his wings. Red Bull style, I'm telling you. Scottie Barnes, 3 steals, 4 blocks and steals, 5. That's literally 5 times 3 is 15 fantasy points right there against the Wizards. So listen, if you don't want to take his fantasy score and you just want to gamble with his block steals at 2.5, you got my blessing. I don't mind it because Scottie Barnes, you just made the list. Remember, I'm not high on. That's just a 1v1 run back for those of you that are going with old Donnie. Did I say Donnie's name enough today? I don't know. I don't know. I like Donnie Mitchell. I'm trying to fly through this video. Hopefully Donnie doesn't sell me. That would be brutal. So now let's talk what else we got, boys. Let's talk what else we got. I love the people skipping through the video just looking for a list. They're going to be lost in the sauce. No, now they see they don't have all the fantasy scores up yet because they're hating on me. They're in gimmick. My whole gimmick is fantasy scores and they're taking it from me. They're pulling it from me and I hate to see it. I'm going to keep my feet firing, see what else we got. And you know where I'm going. You got to know where there's a 260 point game total coming up versus the Pacers and Bucks. You know I'm going there and I'm going down with the ship, my brothers in Christ, sisters. Christ, I'm going down with the ship because it's such a good game on paper. It's such a great spot on paper that the fact of the matter is this, it's too good to be true and I know it, but I'm still going there. I don't care. They don't have a fantasy score up for this man, Giannis, but I'm taking his fantasy score. The second his fantasy score comes on live, I'm taking it. Unless it's like 62 or something like that. If it's 58, 59, 60, I'm taking it and I will hopefully hit. If they don't put a fantasy score out, you can take his points at 36. It's a big number. Yo, it's a big number, Mel, as Tony Montana said to Mel, yo, that's a big number. And it is a big number. But if there's one man who can get it in a 260 point total, it's this man right here, okay? And remember, I'm going to talk about something else real quick. All these ancillary guys, the role players around him, Chris Middleton, 18.5 points. It's in the mix. I would probably take Chris Middleton's fantasy if it comes up too. Him and Giannis are my 2 top guys for this game. I'm just going to stay with them. I could see you taking Dame Time Lillard if you wanted to. Take a gamble on the man's points or even his assists, and I wouldn't hate it, but I just am going to stick with the obvious Giannis, and I'm going to ask questions and hope that crushes. On the other side of that coin, because there is a 260 point total, you got to find somebody, and again, they don't have fantasy scores, but when they do, I'm going to Tyrese Halliburton, 100%. You want to talk about a man that went from a wagon to a broken wagon with no wheels, back to a wagon again? It's him, Tyrese Halliburton. Am I taking his PRA? No. If you're skipping around and you see this and you're going to be, oh, Captain Crush is high on his PRA, I'm taking it. Wrong. I'm taking his fantasy score or maybe just his points plus assists. I don't want his PRA. I do like that it has crispy push equity, but I want the man's P plus A. You dig? That is what I want. His assist, I got to talk about. I talked about this yesterday and I'm going to come up with a word to quantify this that makes it make sense. okay? All the projection models, all the Vegas books, everything you can imagine is going to tell you to do this right here. Take less. That's the smart play. That's the analytical smart play, to take less. That's the long-term winning play. But there is something that is involved with this, which you have to think of. And I don't have a word for this yet, but I promise you I'm working on it. I'm going to coin it because no one else talks about it. You can call it the luck box element. You can call it the hot hand. It is the human X factor element when you're gambling that you cannot describe, and that is this right here. The man had 23 assists versus the Knicks, 20 against the Bulls, 10 against Houston, okay, 14 Orlando, 15. But as you can see, overall, he's finding his groove again. He's playing a bunch of minutes. I don't know what was going on, if he had some type of personal issues and injury, but now that he came back from his slump, he was in a slump, he's been coming back with a vengeance that would rival Batman. You dig? You understand what I'm saying? He's literally the Dark Knight right now. 23 assists, 20 assists, and he's been turning the ball over less and less, and he's absolutely been crushing. I want his P+A or his fantasy score when it's up, and I'm going to pair that with Giannis or Middleton. But I'm not telling you to take less here. In fact, I'm taking a shot on more today. My model hates it, tells me to take under. All the books juice in the under, but you know what? I'm going for an unethical. It's not unethical. That's a crazy thing to say. Just the crazy play, boys. 13 and a half assists. I'm just going to ride the train. Why not? He's a guard versus the Bucks, and he's been getting absolute insane assists. I'm telling you right now, 23 assists versus the Knicks is insane. Now he's in an even better and amazing matchup on paper against the Bucks, and I'm going to just take a shot on his assist. I'm telling you, I can't believe it. You're supposed to take under, but I'm telling you, I'm taking a shot because I'm going for that intent factor that I can't figure out a word for it yet, and I'm going to take it. Now, it's not for the faint of heart, and I don't want you coming in my comment section saying, oh, Captain Crush is crazy. He's going off the rails. It's 2024, and he's telling us to take this prop. I'm not telling you to take it. I'm saying that I'm taking it because that's just what I'm doing today, okay? If you want to wait for his fantasy score, you can. The fantasy score is the one that's probably the safest. It's not going to be safe, but I am getting exposure to this game. The point total being 260 is elite, and I'm going to get exposure to it. And on the live stream, we will discuss all the other plays that we'll talk about in that game. But let me go back over to my handy dandy notepad right quick for a second. Tyrese Halliburton, 1.57 fantasy points per minute with a crispy 26% usage rate. Absolutely. Again, 260 point total in that game. What else needs to be said? Get exposure to it. I don't care what you do, just get exposure to it. You need to have exposure to it or you're doing this whole thing wrong. All right? So I talked about the main 4 that I wanted to talk about, and now I'm going to give you one more play to complete the 5, and if you want more than that, you got to go to CaptainCrush.net and go to the gold package. You'll get in the Discord and you can be in the live stream today at 4:45 Central, or you can get silver where I just give a couple plays, but you will get all my projections in the gold. What that means is model projections sent to you every day so you can make your own reads, and on top of that, you'll get a playlist of my favorite plays, and you will also get access to the community and the live streams, and I got a couple of sharps in there. It is a good thing, and if you want a free 30-day trial, you just go to the description of this video and sign up with any of my partners, send me the email, the screenshot, and I got you, fam. And listen to me when I tell you this, folks. I was the first person come up with that deal. I know everybody's on the train now, but it was always Captain Crush giving the people a win-win situation. I will take the L, you guys get the W. I invented that. Make no mistake about it. That and the TikTok community live slips, all that is me. I was the original. I don't care what anyone says. All the duplicators, there's only one Crush. You know it, I know it. I'm not going to be right every day, and I don't care about that. But at the end of the day, I will give you the truth. I will tell you what is up. I will get your feet firing and your brain moving in the right direction, and hopefully get you to crack a smile. Okay, because at the end of the day, if you're not entertained with me or anyone else that you watch, what are you doing? You got to be entertained as well as educated, my friends, okay? Enough of the Twitter crazy. You got to be entertained. So let me get back on track and talk about the dart throw that I was going to talk about. And it's none other than Cade Cunningham. Ew, gross. Cade Cunningham. 25.5 points. Sure, why not? It's in the mix. Okay, it's in the mix. Absolutely. It's the same thing that I said with Tyrese Halliburton. There's that intangible factor that we don't know what it is, and he's just been crushing, okay? He's literally been trending all the way. This was just 38 yesterday when I took it. Cash it, okay? I don't know if I'm going to take it today at 37.5, but 45, 46, 55, 31, 45. They just won that game. They have all the momentum. Houston, it's a slower pace matchup. It's not a great matchup. Okay, but remember, we're not looking at this as an analytical play. It's more of a gut play, a gut call play, okay? No model is really going to like this. They don't have his P plus A up yet, but that would be my favorite, maybe even his fantasy score, but he does get the turnovers. So just stick with the points. The P plus A, the P plus R, I guess, is in play. Yeah, it's in play. Why not? But the P plus A would be my favorite, or even just his PRA, okay? That way you avoid his turnovers and you get exposure and access to all of it. Remember, old Cade is a dart throw. I wouldn't have him in more than 1 to 2 slips max, okay? That is your deal with Cade Cunningham. And then there's one more guy that I'm going to talk about. You know what? No, you got to be in the live stream if you want the rest of it. I can't be giving it all away. There's too much hate going my way. People being like, Cap, you talk about everything on the YouTube. I get comments all the time. Cap, the YouTube. Buddy, I was on live stream the other day for 3 hours. I talk about it all on the live stream, boys. It's not just about spoon feeding, giving plays and everything else. It's about teaching you and helping you navigate these waters that we call daily fantasy sports and getting you to understand the fundamentals of what to look for. I'm telling you, you're always going to be more satisfied taking your own plays and your own reads than just listening to some random guy on YouTube telling you what to take. Because if it sells, you're going to be like, oh man, I listened to this guy and I wanted to do this. Buddy, brother in Christ, use your gut, use your own brain. That is the difference between me and everyone else. I'm not here to spoon feed you. I'm trying to teach you how to fish. I'm trying to teach you how to do this on your own. And with that in mind, I will see you guys later. I bid you adieu. Happy New Year. Listen, we got a new year, another day above ground, and a 2024, a reset. I'm thankful for all you guys. It's almost been a year since I started doing this content on YouTube, a couple more months and it will be a year, and I'm very thankful to each and every one of you. Listen, if you are new here, hit the subscribe button, and if you're an old faithful, smash that like button. I'm telling you, that's your biggest help to me right there, boys. Whether you become a paid subscriber or not in my Discord, hey, I love all those guys. They've been supporting me for a hot minute, and I promise you, I put in the work every single day. I'm not going to give you guys W's every day. It's impossible, but I always will show up and put in the work, win, lose, or draw, and help you, give you guys a community where you can learn and give you guys the best data and info that I can, okay? As I said, my normal video has my little face right down there in the right-hand corner, but my camera's being poverty. I'm going to get all that fixed. Hopefully, I can upgrade this studio in 2024. Again, I'm rambling now. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Good luck in all your contests. You can't see it, but I'm giving you a salute, and I bid you adieu. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.